In this video, I'd like to show you a second type of layered image stack in ImagesPlus, the combined image and mosaic layer stack. Now, ImagesPlus has really two layered stacks for images. The process history layers allows you to easily apply filters, the stretch, smoothing, color, or other filters to an image, the same image, and then use an optional blend mode, opacity, and mask if you like. The advantage here is that it's quick and direct to apply a smoothing filter, then a sharpening, then a color adjustment filter to the same image, each one of those filters with its own blend mode, opacity, and mask option if you like to use those. And it's just quick and direct. But sometimes you want to take two or more exposures, possibly of the same image, and layer them. For example, a long and short exposure of M42, and you want to get the core detail out of one and the faint outer detail out of the other exposure, or maybe luminance layering, or possibly taking an H-alpha image with a DSLR and then using that to improve the detail and red color in a color image of the same object from a DSLR. So to do those kinds of things, process history isn't your tool. What you'd want to use is the combine image and mosaic tool, and we're going to get that started with the mosaic setup menu option. So when I choose that, I have a chance to give the mosaic a name and set its dimensions. If I just take the defaults, it's going to use the size of the image that's currently active, which is what I usually want to do. Okay, I'm going to shrink that down to 50% display, move it over here. This is the combination image, and this window in Combine Images is a layered, it's a tree where each node in the tree represents an image layer with a possible mask assigned to it and blend mode and opacity. So I don't have any images assigned to this layer stack yet, so let's add an image. I'll check Add Image on the Combine Images box and then just left click on an image that I want to add. So now I have the first layer. And I want to switch from the default max blend mode to blend with opacity and a mask option. Okay, so I've got my image stack has one layer in it, and it's a duplicate of the image I just added. Now suppose I want to apply a filter to this image and then layer it on top of the image to maybe smooth or sharpen or adjust the color. Well, what I would need to do, and this is what takes a few more steps compared to the process history window, is I'd first have to take the image, duplicate it, and then assign it as a layer above. See, now I have two images. This one is this image. This one is this image. And actually it's handy to use these display buttons. But still, I'm just layering a copy of an image on top of itself, so the combination image really is the same image. Okay, now suppose I want to use a filter, and what I'm going to do is open up, let's say, a sharpening filter. Now, see, at this point it's getting a little confusing which image is which. So what I like to do is use this stack option on open images to stack all the open images. And that doesn't mean combine them, it just means place their windows on top of each other. And then use these buttons down here to display the image I want to work on. Okay, what I want to do is I want to take this top layer and I want to sharpen it and then layer it on top of the bottom layer. Okay, so with the top layer selected as the current image in this layer tree, and it's either highlighted here or it has this arrow, press the image button. Now I can apply a sharpening to it. And I might want to use this lock. See, that'll lock this sharpening filter or any of the filters that have lock image to a particular image. So now every time I change a slider or press apply, this sharpening filter always goes to this image. So I've sharpened it a little bit, but my blend mode is normal, which means replace the previous layer with the current layer, so I'm just getting the sharpened image. To blend the two, well, I can use opacity. I can set it down to average, and that's displaying the mask target now. Or I can also change the blend mode, maybe use soft light, or maybe screen. Okay, so what I'm doing is I've got my filter applied to the top image, this image. It's layered on top of the image before it's sharpened, this image, and then I'm combining the two with a screen blend mode and opacity of about half, which is like an average of the two. And then that gives me the combination image. So that's how you would apply a filter to the same image using the combine images layers and adjust the blend mode, opacity, and mask, which we'll add next. This is what is very straightforward and direct with the process history window. Here it takes more steps, but you have more control because all of these images remain open, and it's quick and easy to edit them. Because after all, if I take a look at this image and look at its process history, see it can have a whole chain of filters, each with its own blend, opacity, and mask applied, that I can edit as shown in the process history layer video. And once I get it where I want it, I can press apply to update the combination image with the changes. Let me give you another example. Let's add a mask to this top layer to restrict the sharpening just to M76 and the stars. Okay, I want to make the top layer the active image, so it's selected. I'll press image, and then I'll press mask and shrink that down to 50% display. And then I'm going to assign this mask to this image in the layer tree. So with this image selected, I do add mask and click on the image. See, now I have the first layer, that's the sharpening layer, now has this mask assigned to it. And again, to make things neat, I like to use this stack. So now if I want to look at the bottom layer, select it, press the image button. If I want to look at the top layer, select it. This is the sharpened version. If I want to look at its mask, press the mask button. If I want to look at the combination, press the combination button. And if you change the mask or one of these two images to update the combination, you press apply, and that will take these component images, the masks in these two images, and recombine them with any changes that you made to them. And that's the advantage of combined images, is it allows you to keep each layer image and its mask, if you have one, open and easy. It's really easy to edit each layer and its mask. Now, this image layer tree, you can have color images, you could have monochrome images, luminance, red, green, and blue, or you could have a mix of the two in there. You can also move the components around. Pick a component. If you want to see it, press the image button. You can use these buttons to shift it, or you can go to the combination image and right click on a point and move it with the mouse, and the component that you're moving is the one that's selected over here. So I could do that to move it around if I had an alignment issue. This turns out to be a very versatile, and there's all sorts of things you can do with this, and it's probably best to look at the tutorial page for the processing on the ImagesPlus website, and it has examples of combining several exposures of M42, multiple luminance layering, and making an edge mask to sharpen Jupiter. Just all sorts of things you can do with this. But this gives you the basic operation of this window. And once you're done, you press flatten, and then keep your combination image, and you can go back and close all these other images, and then you can process this image further if you like. Probably don't want to leave it out of alignment though, but I think it shows the general use of this tool.